Do you believe in miracles? Would you love to see a miracle in your life right now or in somebody that you love? Well, it is possible. I'm Sherry Nichols with The Miracle in You, and this show is dedicated to bringing you hope. What we do here is we bring you real life stories of people just like you and me from all over the world who have gone through trauma and tragedies and then experienced a miracle. These are inspiring stories that will help you to know that there is a power far greater than us, that is breathing us, that is there for us to tap into and really help you have the miracle that you're looking for. Today, I am thrilled to have Kavita Aurora with us, and she has a very, really awe-inspiring, powerful miracle to share with us. She experienced headaches and other chronic illness for over the past 3 decades. And she experienced a miracle recently that she's going to share with all of us. So let's welcome Kavita. So good to have you here.
So great to be here, Sherry.
Oh my gosh. And Kavita and I have known each other for years. And I will tell you, this is a incredibly brilliant woman who is a successful professional. And she has been suffering with health issues for, as I said, over 3 decades. And she has sought out, right? You sought out help. I mean, you didn't just sit back and do nothing. You were out there researching and trying things, but nothing was alleviating your pain. So tell us about your miracle and why it was such a miracle for you.
Yeah, no, thank you for asking, and thank you for having me. It's so great that you are putting this together. Oh. And this is one of those things that finally happened for me that I was longing for so long, because I suffered from headaches since I was 20. And
migraines?
They got to migraine level at certain points in my life. I was able to alleviate them to a degree so that I could function better, but they would never, there was something deep inside me that I felt like in my head, like there was a trauma that had occurred in my early 20s. And there was a rift with my parents over, because I'm, a traditional, that my parents are very traditional Indian, and I am, and I had a boyfriend who was not Indian at the time. And then I told them about it. And they got very upset, and I got a sinus infection. And there was a part of me that I think just felt so much pain that it shut down. And it really felt like there was a connection between like this part of me and down here somewhere, that like something just got shut down.
Okay.
I know that now, because in the healing, there was this opening between these parts of me, and energy that started to flow.
So you think that situation with your parents caused a blockage in your head that was causing the headaches?
Yes.
Okay.
And it got exacerbated over the years when I had more tensions with my parents over other things. And then, even though I married the kind of guy that they wanted, because I happened to fall in love with that kind of man, and it worked out, the headaches were still it was like the trauma was trapped in my body. So even though the original cause had been healed to a degree, when we don't really, I had such painful emotions that I was unwilling to experience at the time, didn't know how to function and experience them. And I think this happens to a lot of us, where we just push them down because we do it unconsciously. It's our body's way of coping. And animals, they just shake out their emotions and they move on. Or kids, they're not stuck in what happened, yesterday or even 10 minutes ago. And so for me, it was just this journey of trying to find solutions, trying to, even with daily meditation, other kinds of meditation I was doing, that didn't solve it. I saw all sorts of doctors. I saw all sorts of specialists. I tried all different things, all different therapies.
That would be so frustrating.
Yeah. And it wasn't until I found out about connecting with the quantum field in my meditations.
Can you explain that?
Yeah.
What is a quantum field for you? Because I know many people know about the quantum field, but for those of you watching who don't,
So this is one of my favorite topics, and it's and I am by no means scientist, or so if there's scientists listening, you can excuse my rudimentary explanation. But I think some of us have heard like everything is energy, right? And matter is the most dense form of energy, and it's the lowest vibration, right? And we hear a lot in like The Secret and all of these law of attraction teachings, raise your vibration. And, and then there's the, well, how do I do that when I'm sad or when I'm in pain, or, and so when we're connecting with the quantum, we're connecting with, like, I look at it as like, you can look at it as the God field, like if you believe in God, when you are connecting with that higher self, or you're experiencing God or oneness with God or a connection, that is the quantum. And so when you hear of miracle healings within, like Jesus, when he was doing his miracle healings, what was he? He's a quantum healer. He was essentially at such a high vibration that he would then put his hands or even near somebody, and then their vibration would rise, right? So I'd never done an intentional practice like that during my meditation to raise my vibration, to raise my energy in that way. And then when you also are doing that in conjunction with working with your chakras, and the chakras, if you don't know what the chakras are energy centers in the body, and we have 7 of them. And what started to happen over time is I just started to get these weird energy would start going through my body, and I'd, all of a sudden feel like bursts of energy, and it was uncomfortable, but I also, like, there's a surrender to, hey, my body has wisdom. It's created by God, it's created by nature, trusting the energy that was flowing. And I got this guidance in July to just, I had so much going on, as we all do, right? We always have so much going on. Yeah. And the guidance was, go inward, rest, listen. And so I took 2 weeks where I just didn't do very much other than what I absolutely had to do. And I just sat with myself.
Good for you for listening.
Yeah.
Because that isn't always easy. That's the first step, is listen to the guidance.
Yes. I could have completely missed the miracle. This is really important, because maybe you're having messages that are coming through for you that you're not listening to, because this is the first time that I actually didn't allow my overdoing to get in the way of this healing. Plus, the strong practice was, because I was meditating, I still do meditate daily, at least for an hour. And at night I meditate for an hour before I go to bed. And often it's 2.5 hours. So I was really intensely into the quantum kinds of meditation and really connecting with the field in this way. And it's very scientific, actually, the way the healing works too. But I'm going to tell you about the healing first. So I sat with myself, and the energy just started to move. And it was as though, I needed to surrender to that, allowing it, and it looked very odd. It looked like I was just lying on a pillow for hours, and but there was so much that was happening inside, and it was like, I'd had 2 car accidents, so it was like it started to unwind the scar tissue, and there were some periods where, like, there was, because I what had started to then contribute and make my headaches worse was injuries to my neck and my shoulder in these 2 car accidents. So it was like the energy started to come in, and I would convulse, and I would, like, my arm would be, it was like it was going through the accident again, or my neck would go like this, like it was going through the accident again. And
so you weren't doing this, it was just the energy flowing through was causing your body to convulse.
Yes, over time.
So did that freak you out?
Well, so I'd been doing this several days, and so this first several days it was a lot quieter, and it was more like there was a lot of scar tissue in the womb area, actually, from one of the accidents, because I had to brake really hard. And so it was like working in my energy body, and I had gotten used to working with the energy, so it was like it opened up all of the energy here. It almost felt like it was quantum surgery. Oh. And so and it was like my body was releasing what it needed to release, and then putting back what needed to stay, and putting it back in the right place, if that makes any sense, because it felt like there were a lot of signals that were really mixed up. And this may also sound really odd, but like I actually felt like there were energies of the patriarchy in my womb, or like suppression of women, or there were all these energies that felt like they were leaving my womb. And part of that was also because as I was growing up as a traditional Indian girl, I have a very big energy, but I was not supposed to be dating or be sexual. So there was all this guilt and shame that was locked in my womb to control the big energy that I had, because I didn't want to displease my parents. And you already hear in my story the headaches from the, you know, like it's all around like this.
Being a good girl and not doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
And then all of that gets locked in.
Yes.
Your head and here.
Yes.
So basically this energy, when you say quantum surgery, it's just, you know, for some of you, I think it's another way, some refer to it as prayer, and some refer to it an energetic, just energetic, I guess you call it surgery, right?
Yeah.
With the quantum surgery, where that's this, you're connecting with that level of vibration that's able to really clean and cleanse, and then bring into your body what was necessary for you to really, not to fix you, but to get you back to your original state of being before all of the years of guilt and shame were laying in there.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a lot of like, clearing the channels and allowing the flow, and it was also very much around, like, I got to a place where I was working with the energy. So it's like you're working with God.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly. And I mean, let's just say that again, because this is such a powerful point you're making, Kavita, is that so many times, you know, I work with a lot of women, and because we are so capable and competent, and we typically, you know, a lot of moms, a lot of entrepreneurs, we are mostly in our head. And there is the disconnection between the head and the body. And so you can, if you start to hear these things, your mental mind starts to take over, right? So what I'm hearing you say is, let that go, surrender, because there is a higher power that is really wants to work to help you feel better. And all we have to do is surrender to it. That's a huge point.
Thank you for pulling that out of there. Yes, it's and it took me a long time. Like, did not come easy to me. I'm very much in my head, and you know, but this miracle is available to all of us if we get our small self out of the way.
Say that again, because that is so powerful.
This miracle is available to all of us if we get our small self out of the way and just surrender and allow your higher self to come through. Allow and
get out of your thoughts that block you.
Yes. And all of those other things that we think we've got to do, they really can wait if this message is coming through. You know, like it just, if I hadn't listened, I don't even know if I could handle all the things that I have going on right now, because the pain was so locked up, and it was sucking my energy. So I couldn't, I mean, there's a huge power center in the pelvic area, and if it's blocked, and for a lot of women, this is blocked. And the energy isn't flowing up, and so, you know, it's just it just gets stuck down here, and then you have energy up here, and then you feel kind of ungrounded, and really what we want is the energy flowing up to the heart chakra, and then up all the way, and you know, and just so when we do that, we have so much more time and energy available, but we think that rest that we need to take, or that guidance to just be with ourselves, is taking away from us somehow, or gonna. And so for me, what also happened with this, which I must share, is that, you know, for the headaches, it was like the crescendo at the end of 2 weeks. Like I could feel there was still a lot of, like, there'd been a lot of unwrapping. It was really miraculous the way the energy worked with my body. It was almost like it knew that it needed to unravel the car accident stuff, because there was stuff going on in my lymphatic system that was messed up. And it needed to let all of that clear, so that eventually when it came to the head and there was stuff to clear, it had somewhere to flow. The body is so smart. So that's why the head was last.
Amazing.
Like, the systems all needed to be working so that it could flow all the way down.
That just gave me goosebumps. I mean, seriously, there is a power so great that is just got it figured out if we just listen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what happened then? So it
So
all
what
started
happened?
to clear?
Yeah. So like this is now this is like a Friday. I had said to my husband, I said, I feel like something bigger is coming. I'd really like for you to hold me, because he's sleeping next to me, and then in the middle of the night I'll start convulsing and need to leave the bed and go to the sheepskin in front of our bed and just convulse for several hours. Like this is how weird it was. And my husband is a corporate executive, guy, and like this was very, very odd. He's used to me doing odd things, but this was the top of like what he had seen.
Yeah.
And so I said, I really like, if it comes to it, because I'd had some moments where I was just crying a lot of old tears. That's the other thing. Let the tears come. Let the tears come.
Yeah,
we
it's
stop
important.
the tears, and the tears are part of the healing, because we hold that grief inside of our bodies.
Yeah.
So I knew there was more coming. I could feel it.
Yeah.
It started at like 4 a.m. and then by like 7 or 8 a.m. I'm on the sheepskin, and I was crying in the morning. And he came over and he held me like the sacred masculine. And because I told him I wanted that. I wanted to be held by him if the opportunity came. So it was like it created itself. There it was. He's holding me now, and I've got my head like this. And the fluid just, like all this stuff starts draining out. And like, it was incredible. And then I had to go this way. Like it was telling me which way to go to drain it.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So you're draining, you've got your husband's holding you.
Yeah.
And I love this.
Yeah.
And as you said, he's, corporate,
Yeah.
total alpha guy.
Yeah.
And here he is holding you.
Yeah.
And that's really what the feminine wants.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And I let him.
And you let him. That's the biggest point,
key.
right? You let him.
In fact, I asked him for it.
Yeah.
Then I let him.
Yeah, this is a huge point.
Yeah.
Because as women, we don't often ask for what we need.
Yes.
And that's part of the balance between the masculine and
Yeah.
the feminine. And I think what I'm hearing is it's a big part of your healing
Yes.
was surrendering into that feminine.
Yes.
Letting go.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so then what? Yeah.
Yeah, well, so then, like, essentially, like, now, like, I don't get any bad headaches. Like, I used to have this part of my, like, it felt like there was some part of inside my head that was so stuck, and it would never release, and it always felt tight. It didn't matter how good I felt, it was always
tight.
stuck.
Uh-huh.
And so even if it didn't hurt a lot, it was tension, and it felt...
Like it was being pulled?
Yeah, like anytime I put attention on it, it was like, it was uncomfortable. And that is gone. Like it is just totally gone, because it went way deep inside this healing, and it got rid of all of that. So,
So you had basically, that's gone,
Yeah.
and you've got the tension from your car accidents in your
oh my
neck and your
gosh, I had
shoulders.
so much, pain that was in here that is like, it's gone.
That's gone.
It's completely gone, because now, it was like I gave myself the fabulous chiropractic adjustment as well. It was really strange. It was like the God field, the quantum field adjusted my back and adjusted like all these bones I didn't even know you could adjust.
Yeah.
I mean, it was painful, some of it.
Yeah. But it's, it goes to show, I mean, God created our bodies, and God can heal our bodies
Yes.
if we just allow ourselves to
Yes.
surrender to it. So now you've got, your head is clear, your shoulders and your neck and your womb area, and so that's the physical aspect, and so your health is so much better than it's been in over 3 decades.
Yeah.
And you've let go of some belief systems as well.
Yes.
So
yes.
there's an emotional balance that came from this too.
Oh, definitely. And it actually preceded it, because I needed to, like, there's more that has come out after, but if I hadn't done some of that work beforehand, I never would have surrendered to the experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Because I had to, I used to be an attorney in corporate. Like, I am very much like, and it's all, and I'm from an immigrant family, so it's all about doing and working hard, and like the idea of doing something like this is very foreign to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so it took years of work to get me to that place.
And so great, clarification and point on that as well, as breaking through cultural, really structural belief systems
Yes.
within your culture.
Yes. And this is there are belief systems within my culture. There are belief systems in Western society. There are the belief systems that the ancients did not have. Like the ancients used to be very seasonal. They used to understand the need for rest. They used to, tune into the moon cycles. And there was, so there was a
rhythm.
Period, yeah, there was a rhythm. There were periods of really going all out. There were periods of restoration and replenishing. There were periods of just joy and harvesting.
Yeah. What has the impact been on your life from this miracle?
Well, it's been incredible, Sherry. It's just, I feel very youthful again. I'm full of energy. I have so much more hope and so much more like possibility. And, one of the reasons my husband said he married me is because I'm so joyful and lighthearted. And I bring, and that had started to go away over time, when you're in chronic pain,
absolutely,
it's so hard to access that kind of joy and lightness. And
absolutely,
now it's like I feel effervescent a lot of the time.
You look like it. I mean, look at her eyes. Look at the camera. I mean, she has so much joy emanating out of her eyes. It's just sparking. I mean, your whole face and it is amazing. I can tell how free you feel.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. There's a sense of freedom. Like you just said, because I felt trapped in my body, and I had just a glimmer of hope, because I am by nature hopeful and I see possibility. But when you feel that terrible, and it wasn't just the headaches by this time. You know how it is when you're not feeling well. Yeah. Then you develop all sorts of other things along the way. Right. So I was chronic fatigue, burnout, like all of these things were going on, and so to go from years of healing really, really slowly to all of a sudden having this, it's like a quantum leap in my health. Wow. And that I had hoped for, had that small glimmer of hope. So if you're hoping, if you've got that small glimmer of hope, hang on to it and go, and really continue along that path.
Absolutely.
Because I really felt like, it was never going to happen, and then it did. Oh. And now everything's better. Friendships, marriage, work. When you have energy and you're happy, then how can it not be
exactly.
better?
Well, this is such an awesome miracle. Oh, Kavita, thank you so much for sharing it with me, because I'm sure there are so many of you out there with health issues like Kavita. This is, unfortunately, it's common for so many people to have chronic health issues. And so I hope that you gleaned some wonderful tips and strategies from Kavita around how you can heal yourself, basically, in summary, to surrender to that higher, whatever that is for you, the universe, God. Listen to it, get out of your own way, and allow yourself to sit in it, and allow that loving, healing, loving energy to flow through your body and heal you. And that's what I heard you allowed. And because of that, cleared out, the headaches and the shoulder pains and all the chronic things that have been going on in your life for so long. Got to this place where now you have tons of energy and you're happier and you're more joyful and your marriage is better and your work is better and everything is better and your health is obviously better.
Yeah,
so
totally.
In closing, Kavita, is there any gold nugget that you would like to give to anyone watching who is in a place of suffering in their health right now?
Yeah. What I really want to share with you is that if you're in this place where you're feeling hopeless, don't give up hope. If you're listening to this, I imagine there's a glimmer of hope. That's why you're listening. And so stay with that and really continue and take it. I had to take it a day at a time, like they do in recovery. It's just like you when you've got pain that is daily, it's just, you just need to get through one day at a time, improve, and and there is work that you're doing in order to create your miracle. So don't let the hopelessness take you out of whatever action you're taking. For instance, the action I recommend is listening to some quantum meditation and doing that daily. If you do prayer, do that earnestly, daily. Whatever practice it is that is your healing practice, go all in and and hang on to that glimmer of hope, because that can turn into this miracle healing and this possibility.
It's beautiful, just
Yeah.
beautiful, Kavita. And she does have a quantum meditation for you as well, and we will have a link for that so that you can access that. So if you're sitting there wondering, oh, I would love to connect more with that higher power, with the God within, but I just don't know how, I have a very special meditation that I designed just for you called the Diamond Power Meditation. And it was an inspiration for me based on some prayer work that I did and receiving an inspiring vision that within each of us is a diamond, and that is connected to God. So if you would love to connect more to that power in you, simply go to diamondpowertv.com. As soon as you put your information in, it'll be sent to you right away. And if you have a miracle that you have experienced, or you know somebody who's had a miracle, please let us know. I would love to be able to chat with you and to allow your miracle to be heard by the entire world. Until next time, believe in the miracle in you. Bye now.